Okay, here we go. Quizzes tomorrow. I'll go over very briefly right now what'll be on the quiz, and then we're going to start something new today. All right, and I want to finish your notes from Friday that we did not finish, okay, because we still had numbers 9 and 10 to finish. I'll go over any questions you had on the assignment if you tried it over the weekend. If not, okay, but quiz is still going to be tomorrow, okay? All right, quiz is still going to be tomorrow. Up on the board, I have what's called a what formula for going into tomorrow's quiz? That is a recursive formula. I'm going to ask you to write your own tomorrow on the quiz and write out a couple terms. So ready? How do I find the second term? Using my formula here. How do I find the second term here? Go ahead, Ashley. What's up? So 3 times, what's this, another term before? So 3 times, well, what's the term? No, the term before the second one. That's why I gave you guys the first term. The first term's 12, so I'm going to do 3 times 12 and then square it. Okay? Nick, do 36 squared for me on your calculator, because I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So just do 36 squared. Thank you. How do I find the third term? I'm going to ask for a couple tomorrow. How do I find the third term now? Lily? And then I square that. Okay? So recursive formula. Here we go, down here. Okay, somebody fill me in. How do I find the second term? What are you doing to find the second term? Previous, which was what? -2, but now minus, oh boy. The ends have to match. So where else do you see an end all by itself? Right here. What did I plug in for it? 2. So it'd be -2 minus 2, -4. All right, not off the hook yet. What about third term now? Brett? Here? That's a n minus 1. That's in the subscript. That's the previous term. So that's why there's a -2 plugged in. All right, how do you find the third term then? What do I plug in? What was my previous term? -4 minus, now what do I plug in? -3. And then I go from there. Okay, I'm giving you the quiz right now, but how do you find the second term here? I got n plus 1, now I have an. Doesn't matter. This is still asking for the what? Previous term. I just wrote it differently. So what was the previous term? So this is 5 plus 2 times. All right, now n. Here you go. That n matches that n. So the 5 was what term? 5 was my what term? First term. So it should be 2 times 1. Okay, and all, n may be over here tomorrow. It may be right here. It's different. Okay. Questions? Yep.
How do you tell if you have to use the term before?
It's always the term before. Yeah, I'll never ask you for the term ahead or now. I may ask you for this tomorrow. A1 equals 2. A sub n equals 2 times a. Oh, hold on. I'll give you the second term too, is 10, and then I'll do this. Now, how do you find the third term? 2 times, what's this being again? Previous, term before, which would have been what in our case? 10 plus, now if I pull this one too, the term before that one, which in this case would have been 2. Okay? So that's the only thing different you could say. Any questions there? Okay, go back to your notes then from Friday. We still have to do question 9 and question 10 that we did not get to. All right. Find the sum of this arithmetic series. Remember what the series was? That's when I do what to all the terms? I'm going to add them all up. Okay? And the way we do this is for an arithmetic series, we construct our own sigma. Okay? We construct our own sigma based on the info they give me. What's always the bottom value? You don't even have to worry about it. What's always the bottom value? N equals? Well, I always start with 1. Okay, hold on. I'm not. Okay, this could be A, Z. It could be any variable, actually. All right, it doesn't have to be N. This is we're going to use this differently here in a second. All right, but you always start with 1. Everyone all right? Okay, next up is, anybody remember what went to the right? We always start with 1. There's no question about it. We always start with 1. Makes this problem a lot easier than starting with 2, 3, 4. We always start with 1 when we build our own sigma. Okay? What should be going to the right? The equation of the nth term. Formula sheets out, please. Here we go. Formula sheets out. You can use them on the quiz tomorrow just as long as there's no extra writing on there. If there is, that's fine. I'll just give you a fresh one. What equation are we going to use for arithmetic? Here we go. It's the only one on there you can use. A sub n equals A1. There we go. N stays n when you write the equation for the nth term. N stays n. So I have A sub n equals, oh boy, sorry, what's the problem? I have no idea what the first term is. Well, all right, I can at least fill in the rest. And what's your d value? 8, all right. Help me find the first term. Help me find the first term. Because I don't think you can work backwards here. Because I don't know what term this 240 is. But ready? Can I use this equation again to find the first term? And the answer is you're darn right I can. Ready? Watch. What's A sub n? So 240 equals, what am I? I'm just going to put A1 here. I'm trying to solve for it. What's your n value? It's given. 16 minus 1 times 8. Go ahead, solve for the first term so we can plug it back in. (16 minus 1 times 8). Move it over. It shouldn't take too long. Find the first term. What is it? 120. Yep. Go back. Plug it in up here. 120. And you guys know, what do I always ask you to do here before we stop? What do I need you to do here? Clean it up. Clean it up. Distribute the 8. Add the 120. Go ahead. What do you find? 8n plus 100n, 12. And that's what goes into the right of your sigma. Now the only question is what goes on top, and it's already given to you. That's how many terms we're going to add up. And that is your n value, which will be what here? So we're going to plug in the numbers 1 through 16. I showed you on Friday, you don't need to do this by hand. Pretend I wasn't here. Where do I go on my calculator? Here we go. Where do I go on my calculator to get all this fancy stuff? Because I can't show you tomorrow. Alpha window. Here we go. Alpha window. Choice 2 for me. May be different from you. I doubt it, though. Choice 2. Okay. I'm going to start with n equals 1. On top, I'm going to put a 16. And then remember, everyone sees these parentheses that are given to you. Everything needs to fit in there. Okay? Everything. So you may have to double up on parentheses if you need to inside. All right, but everything I need to put in there has got to be put in the parentheses. And what are we putting in? 8n minus, or plus 12, excuse me. 8n plus 112. And the calculator will do it for me, 2,880. So there's what all those terms are added up. Questions, because we're going to build one again. Okay, go to 10. Maddie's training for the marathon. He runs 20 miles the first week. Each week he increases it by 4 miles. How many total? Not how many miles is he going to run on week 8, how many total miles. Now, I get it. You could just list it out yourself and add it up in your darn calculator. Problem is tomorrow, you'll probably have 160 weeks of training instead. And that's the only problem you'll have time to do tomorrow, because you're literally writing out every term and trying to add it up. Okay, so don't think it's going to be that easy as I can just list it out and add them up. Okay, write a couple terms in my sequence here, because I like to see the numbers written out. So I know I start with 20 miles. What about week 2? 24, 28. I just like to see a couple numbers in the sequence. And I want to know what they all add up to when I get to the 8th week. Why arithmetic here? Why is it arithmetic? Okay, it's going up by 4. And why do I need the sigma here? What am I asking you to find? Total sum of all the arithmetic, the terms in the arithmetic sequence. All right, that's why I know I need the sigma. All right, what are we starting with? N equals 1. And what are we going to? 8. 8 weeks, right? 1 to 8. Now find the equation. Write off your formula sheet. This is going to be an easy one because we have everything we need. N stays N. What's your first term here? 20 plus N minus 1. What are you going up by? Perfect. I got everything I need. When you guys clean it up, I'll ask you what you ended up with. Four n plus 16. Make sure to solve it though. Make sure to plug it in your calculator tomorrow. Just don't leave it hanging like that. All right. How many miles total is he going to run in 8 weeks? 200 and there you go. We all right? And then on the assignment, there was some packet work that basically had you guys get practice using your calculator. Quick question for you. On number 4 up here, why can I not use my calculator? It's useless. 2 variables. You got to do it out by hand if it's 2 variables. Okay, your calculator is useless. Same thing with number 5. Can't use your calculator tomorrow. Got to have 1 variable. Okay. And then you guys had stuff out of the book. Is there anything you want me to answer here before I move on to the new stuff? Because I'm nervous about tomorrow, but we'll see what you come with. Nothing from the book. Okay, hey, that's fine. Answers are always up on Aspen if you want to try them out to get ready for tomorrow. I'm here 3rd, 4th, and 7th, but not today after school. 3rd, 4th, and 7th, I'm here if you want to review. If you have 3rd or 4th off tomorrow, want to come in before the quiz to review, that's fine. I just hope you're not caught off guard tomorrow. Okay, it's everything from the start of the packet to right now. Nothing? Okay. Hopefully tomorrow too you can find arithmetic means in between. You did that in your group. I'm just throwing that out there. It's on there. Okay. Any questions what's on there? Because really after tomorrow, if we're really, really deep as far as our grade goes in this class, I'm going to ask you, we got to find something to do. Okay. If you're getting buried already by quiz number 2, we'll find something to do. Last call. Nothing? Okay. You got it. You guys know where I'll be available if you need help. Okay, new type of series, new type of sequence. All right, new type of sequence. I threw a little warm up in there because I knew we would have the quiz tomorrow. So this sequence right here, what do we call that? It's not arithmetic, or I'm not looking for arithmetic. A sub n minus 1, this is a what formula? This is a recursive formula. So what I need you to do right now on your own or with people sitting around you, I don't care. I want you to come up with the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th term for this recursive formula on your own right now. Okay, on your own. Is that on there or no? That review, or did I take that off? Okay, never mind. Okay, took it off. Sorry. Never mind. I'll just keep going. Oh, that's because I have the wrong one up here. You guys don't have this. There you go. You have that one. There we go. Okay. Arithmetic. How do I know? I write out a bunch of numbers. How are you going to know it's arithmetic? Goes up by adding the same number every time. What if I multiply the same number every time? We got a new sequence called geometric. Okay, we got a new one called geometric. So take my geometric sequence right now, 32, 8, and 2. Find the next 3 terms of this sequence for me. All right, so find the 4th term, the 5th term, and the 6th term for me. Find the pattern and keep going from there. What'd you guys find the next term? Fourth term is what? 1/2. Fifth term? 1/4. And how about the sixth term? 1/8. All right. What was the pattern? Divide by 2. Divide by 4. Everyone, yes, the pattern was divide by 4. Okay, I want you to get out of this habit of telling me divided by. What could I multiply by instead, Maddie? 1/4. All right, because when you say it's geometric, you're telling me you are multiplying. All right, so we are multiplying by 1/4 here. And that 4th is going to have a new name. Remember when we added 4 every time in that marathon example? That was called my what? When I add the same number every time, that was my what? The 4. We called it a what? We plugged it in for D. Common difference. That's the common difference. For geometric, it's got a totally different name. The number you multiply by is called your common ratio. And the symbol for it is R. Just like D was for common difference, common ratio, it's the R value. Okay, it is the R value. Look on your formula sheet for me. Do you see where it says geometric sequence? Everyone see where it says geometric sequence on your formula sheet? It's a new formula. Okay? It works the same way as arithmetic did. Works the same exact way. All right, we can use it to find the nth term, the first term, or any term. Okay, does everyone see it located on their reference sheet right now? So you know which one I'm talking about. Not the series one, the one that says geometric sequence. Let's use it right now to find the 17th term of this sequence. Find the 17th term. Geometric sequence, a sub n equals. Read it off for me. What's the formula I got to use? Okay, I have been stopping to do this, but it's coming back. Can't. It's the highest number we have in here. Highest number? 20? Maybe. We'll see. 19? We have a 19. Okay, perfect. What's the formula for geometric? What's the only new variable from arithmetic? The R. We just told you what it meant. It's what you're going by, what you're multiplying by. A1 is still the first term. N is still the number of terms. AN is still any random term in the sequence. Go ahead, Ashley. Go. No. Recursive and arithmetic only. Okay, there's no geometric on there. So I'm finding the 17th term. Help me fill everything in now. Here we go. 15. We have a 15. Okay, here we go. Perfect. First term. 1/16. R value, which means what am I multiplying everything by to get to the next term? What? You're multiplying it by 17. Look at the sequence here. Even if you don't know 1/16 to 1/4, I got 1/416 here. So my R value is 4. Raised to, what did we just plug in for N on the other side? So it's going to be 17 minus 1. Now let's talk about what you're doing algebraically now. What's the first thing I should do up here? Okay, 17 minus 1 will give you 16. But from there, are you going to multiply 1/16 times 4 or raise 4 to the 16th? Exponents first. And heck, I've told some of you guys like to do this piece by piece and it drives me nuts because you get stuff incorrect because of it. Just put the darn thing in your calculator all at once. Okay? Parenthesis, 1/16. Parenthesis, 4 raised to the 17 minus 1. Just put it all in your calculator at the same time. You're not going to get anything wrong. But if you do it piece by piece, can't help you out. Large number, huh? Large number, 268 million and change. What do you got, Art? 268 million? You know your places here?
Hold on a second.
I won't blame you if you just say the numbers one by one, too. It's
All right.
okay.
268435456.
Thank you. Thanks. Yep.
So if we just put it in our calculator, it's not going to be a lack of showing work.
You have to. No, you got to show me this though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then-
This is showing work for me.
Oh,
From here, I'm assuming you're using your calculator. Yeah, but if you just leave everything blank and all of a sudden 268 million came out, I just think you got good eyesight. Okay. 2. First question I have now, because now we got to determine arithmetic, geometric. I just came out and said number 1 it was geometric, no issue. How do you know I got to use geometric here other than that's the day we're on? Alex, how do I know? Darn right, there's an R value here. And that tells me common ratio, geometric. So get the formula out. We're finding A sub n. Okay. And hopefully I got everything to plug in I need. Help me plug in the right side here. Number 2 in the house?
Yeah.
Okay, first term. 5 times R value. 3 raised to the what? What?
6.
Minus? Just use the formula. I'm just reading the formula, Brett. 1. That's it. Everything was there for you to plug in. So what term am I finding in this sequence then? What'd you just plug in for n? So you're finding the 6th term. Yep. Again, plug it all into your calculator at once. What is the 6th term when you have it ready? 10, what's the 6th term? You're growing, Art. You're growing. You didn't tell me 1, 2, 1, 5. You're growing. Nice job. Progress. I feel accomplished now. Any issues with you guys? All right, here we go. What happened to my number? You guys have a number 3, don't you?
yeah.
What happened to my 3? Bet you it's at the bottom of this bad boy. No, huh? All right. It is right now. Here we go. 3. Find the first term if A8 is equal to 20 and R equals 1/2. I don't care if it sounds like a broken record. How do I know I got to use geometric formulas here? R term, R term, R term. Yep. And in this equation, which one are you going to leave blank? Which one are you going to leave blank here? Read the problem. Read the problem. Why, Mary? That's what I'm looking for is A1 in this problem. So A1 is going to stay A1. You guys got to help me figure out the other stuff. Well, R's already given. That's going to be 1/2. Remember what this meant for arithmetic. It means the same for geometric. Any term that you know in the sequence. What's any term that I know in this sequence right now? Which is what? So I'm going to plug a 20 in. That's a term I know is 20. Now, Remember, these are always related. 20 is what spot in the sequence? So I'm putting in an 8 there. Minus 1. Okay? Whatever term you plug in there, n is plugged in for whatever term it is in the sequence. All right, we got a little algebra to do. 20 equals A1 times 1/2 to the 7th. Try to leave it as a fraction for me. I'm not a big fan of the sloppy old decimals, but if that's what you have, that's what I'll take. Jenna?
1/120.
Okay. If you left the decimal, you left the decimal. I don't care. All right, how do I get A1 by itself now? Jenna, go ahead.
You divide 1 over 128.
So you can divide both sides by 1 over 128. You guys can handle that. You got fraction templates. Or what could I multiply both sides by? 128. Either way, it'll get you to it. What's that first term of this sequence? 2,560. Now, quick question. How could I have worked just back without using the formula? Could I have worked backwards, like 8th term, 7th term, 6th term? How could you find the terms before it here? Let's say you just brain freeze, you forgot the formula. How could I work backwards? Just given 8th term is 20 and the R value is 1/2. So you know you're going to multiply by 1/2 to get to the 9th term. How would I get backwards to the 7th term? Divide by, if I'm multiplying by 1/2, I want to divide by 1/2. Or multiply by 2 if you're going backwards. Okay, so that's the other way. All right, just like we did for arithmetic, write the equation for the nth term. There it is off the formula sheet. N stays N. I just need your help plugging in everything else. Okay, here we go. Number 9, what's the first term up here?
The first term is going to be
5, yep. Times, now that R value you're going to have to find on your own. What am I multiplying each term by? 5. Now, hey, let me stop here real quick because I understand some people may not see that or it may take them a while. There's a trick to find the R value pretty quickly. Casey, do me a favor. Pick any term in this sequence in this problem. 125. And then what was the term before that one? So if you want to find the R value, pick any term in the sequence and divide by the term before that. If you're ever struggling on what's the R value, take any term in the sequence, divide by the previous, and that'll get you the R value. You like that, Marissa? Of course you do.
Yep, I love it.
I could feel it. Yep. N stays N. Think I could go any further? Think I could change this to 25 to the N minus 1? No. We are done. That's it. Can't go any further. Don't try to be a hero. You can't go any further. Because what comes first, exponents or multiplication? Exponents, and I can't do anything here, so you're not moving on to multiplication. All right? That is as far as you kids can go. Oh, here we go.
Can't do anything with the N minus 1.
What would you want to do? Like, it's done. There's nothing we can do further. You cannot multiply 5 times 5. Well, you can, but it's not in the right order, though. You're changing the value of the problem if you try to do that. Good? Just leave it. I'm doing less work now. Leave it. We good? All right, moving on. Oh, right off the bat, kids, what's the issue? Yeah, don't have the first term. I do have what term, though? Yeah, I do have the fourth term. How could I find the first term? One of two ways. I can work backwards, or didn't we just find the first term up here? On number 3? Didn't we just find the first term? Okay, so either we could work backwards by dividing everything by 8, or we could use this formula again, ready, which is what I want to do. Here's why I want to do that. Yes, hey, could you just take 3, divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8, tell me what the first term is? Yeah, you could. But here's the problem. What if I don't give you the fourth term? What if I give you the 50th term? Are we really going to feel working backwards then? Probably not. Okay, that would take a while. So using this formula, ready? What's any term I know in the sequence? 3. Well, any term I know in the sequence. 3 equals A1. What's the R value? 8. What position is 3 in this sequence? 4 minus 1. Now you can solve for A1 as a fraction. Go ahead, Jenna.
Kind of stupid question.
Nope.
He's gonna be on the quiz tomorrow.
No. No.
Told you it was a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question. No, it's a repetitive question, which was asked earlier and stated by myself multiple times. Yes.
I was just double
Yep. Thank you for double checking for your classmates. Anybody get the first term as a fraction? 3 over 512? Yep. So just go back, plug it in. A1 is 3 over 512. Times R value was what? 8, and just raise it to the n minus 1. Please don't do anything else. N stays n when you write it for the nth term. Questions going?
Yeah.
I'm listening, Art.
We got 3 equals A1 times.
Yeah, we're over here, yeah.
to-
I had to do this because I didn't know what the first term was.
And then under that, the first term is
Yep.
3 over 5.
The fraction 3 over 512.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And I'm leaving it like that. Then I went back and plugged it in for the first term.
And then leave it.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Yep. Any questions from you guys? Okay. Little helium in the balloons. Did I leave that one in there? Yeah. Okay. You start out with how much? 5,000, right? It loses 1/4 of its helium each day. Write a geometric sequence that shows the amount of helium in the balloon at the start of each day. Hi, Ashley. What's up?
I was wondering, when you do these problems, like, if there are word problems, should we include the element?
Units? I'm not going to be picky. There's other things I got to worry about. Okay. All right, so on the first day here, we had 5,000. How do you find how many are on the second day? It loses 1/4 of its helium each day. We're doing how much helium is in each balloon at the start of the day. Multiply by what? Why 4? A fourth? Okay, that's what I would assume most of you would have said, is multiply by a fourth.
Is it 3/4?
Okay, now some random kid in the back is yelling out 3/4. What are we looking for? A sequence that represents how much helium is still in the balloon, right? So it loses a fourth, but how much is still in the balloon? 3/4. Okay, so if you wanted to multiply by a fourth, you could. That's how much left. Then you would have to subtract that from 5,000. So that's still a viable option. Okay, if you want to get there without subtracting, Art, multiply it by 3/4. So everyone go ahead. 5,000 times 3/4. How much is left in the balloon on day 2? 3,750. It said for what? 5 days. So keep trucking. So I'm multiplying everything by 3/4. And then you guys can go ahead and finish off class by doing part B. Write an equation for the nth term. Okay, write an equation that represents the start of each day. N stays N. You know what the first term is, and hopefully you know what the R value is because you just multiplied by it in your calculator. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow for the quiz. I'll take any extra questions at the beginning, and then we'll start the quiz.